Welcome back, folks, to Cafeteria Drama. Sadly, no omelets this week, hoping for them for the week before spring break. Also, I went Friday for lunch to the depot. They have shrimp fajitas, pretty tasty. Also, I broke 2 plastic forks today at brunch. It was tragic.
Parker also broke one.
Parker also broke one. Listen, we want the metal forks back. Let's get some new ones. Finally, Bon Appetit's got something cooking. Stay tuned in the next few weeks. We'll talk about it. Have a great week. Roll Tide, go Thunder.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press corps, we're going to try to keep it brief. I have a few things to cover. First off, I made some statements last week about being at a Legoland. After further review, I learned that I have not been to Legoland because it's not in Mall of America. I'd like to formally apologize for this misstatement. Shout out to the men's NCAA hockey team for representing well. Tough loss at Adrian. Glad I could be there to see them play for one final time. Good luck in your future endeavor, boys. Finally, there was no announcement this week on a commencement speaker, and I was under the impression that it should have come out this week. So I believe that's because the school is afraid that I correctly predicted Chris Pratt. Questions from the pool. You, sir, there. Non-mustache yet, man.
Yeah, Mr. Secretary. So obviously this weekend, as you mentioned, you and a posse of individuals traveled to Adrian College in order to watch the hockey team play. Is it true that, as you know, there was a dog, a real-life bulldog, that came out onto the ice and defended goals into the goal? Is it true that on his way out, the dog called you small and made an obscene gesture towards you?
That's untrue. I don't believe he had the cojones to do that, if you catch my drift. He, however, was a great dog. It's unfortunate that he goes to college and lives in Michigan because I go to a university and will not have to live in Michigan. Next question. You, sir, there. We're county resident.
Yes, Rustin Jody, Bukoff News Network. As you know, there was a great power outage this week. Do you believe that if perhaps there was a different big man, perhaps a man named Justin Rhodey, that he would have been able to prevent this and therefore have CCH hot dogs on Wednesday night?
I can't speak to the entire power outage, but I do know that if Justin Rhodey was the big man, he personally guaranteed me that we would have had hot dogs Wednesday night. Thank you. Next question.
Brett Smalls here. The real question is, I heard a rumor that you were growing some alleged wheat. How hardy would you say this wheat was, and would it be able to handle a strong frost?
I'd like to clarify that the question was about wheat, the North American grain, WHEAT, not the cannabis product grown in Michigan. This wheat is very hardy, and it could survive a strong frost, to quote Princess Evelyn, written by the great Travis Mersing.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Quote of the Week. This week, we got a quote coming from you straight from the Trine Ministry Department. We've been there before. It's been a while, though. And the quote is, "I'm a big budget guy." Thank you. Have a great week. Adam answers yes. Sponsored by
The Great Trine Power Outage of 2023 and all the damage it brought with its icy conditions. But more on that later from Mr. Rhodey. Now we move over to the UFO Adam and I possibly saw, or maybe it was just lightning. But either way, there was weird lights in the sky.
yes.
Welcome back, guys, to Getting Educated with yours truly. I have a lot that I've learned in the past week, so I'm going to go fast. First thing I learned is that the freshman convocations that we were required to go to as freshmen now count as chat credits, meaning that we're supposed to get 8 or 9 chat credits, and 5 of them are already done after your freshman year, just on those convocations alone. Crazy. Secondly, I learned what a puchki was, a puchki donut, like a Polish donut. I have still never had one, but I'm looking forward to buying them because they sound amazing, and I love donuts. Thirdly, I learned what the Pavlovian effect is, which, to sum it up, basically, this guy had a bell and a dog, and every time he fed his dog, he would ring the bell, and so his dog would start salivating at the sight of the food. Well, eventually, he would just ring his bell, and his dog would start salivating even when there was no food. So there's that, some kind of conditioning. That's all I got for you this week. Stay on the grind, stay educated.
We'll figure it out.
Well, Travis, for the second week in a row on your non-injury new of the week, there is only one thing of note to talk about in your non-engineering news section of your newspaper. And people may not remember the Australian debt crisis of 990, but they do remember the great Trine power outage of 2023. Wednesday night, okay, we had this ice storm, and it knocked out the power to all of campus, and then, like, this half of campus didn't get it back for 20 hours, and so that was kind of wild. But the UC was ran on generators, so everybody convened in there to do their work. It was
Lit.
yeah, a lit experience. Definitely one for the record books. Back to you.
To who?
You.
Why me?
Because, yes.
CEO Stuff with T-Ravis here. I heard you'd like to make a formal apology to someone who is homeschooled and may or may not know how lines work.
Yes, my sincerest apologies go out to any homeschoolers that I offended in last week's video. They unfortunately did not attend my line seminar. However, I do understand that they have since learned how to use lines. So if you are said homeschooler, even though we've talked this evening, I would like to again apologize for those comments. I hope you can forgive me and recognize our truce next week at spring break. Thank you.
Take it easy.